Hello and welcome. So today I've pulled out all of my Brusho, which I haven't used for a long while. So I think I've got 20 20 different colours. This is the leaflet that came in the box. They're by Colourcraft, and it says that they're highly pigmented watercolour crystals, basically acid-free, non-toxic. So and you can use them with lots of different techniques. So you can sprinkle them, you can use bubble wrap, you can paint very thickly with them if you just add a small amount of water. You can add other mediums to them. I'm guessing like granulation medium, for example. And then there's a bleach technique with baby sterilizing fluid. Yes, they came in a little box with this leaflet. I do also have the Art of Brusho. Let me get the shine off of that. A Guide to Beautiful Paintings, and that is by Carrie Mackenzie. So in a little bit, if I can find my page, I am going to do this, which is the pen and wash country scene that is in the book. There are lots of guide you through step-by-step examples in this book. You've got this lovely tree stump that you can do. You've got a little robin. You know, it shows you how to do flowers and little animals. I have already done this one. I did that quite some time ago. That one's actually up in my bathroom, but I didn't use those colours. I used more blues and purples. But yes, little trees there, bananas. I think even the one on the back here is a painting that I did a long while ago, which is going up my stairs. So it's a very interesting book. That actually that one there is this one in the book, The Enchanted Wood. And so I did do this one. So it's just something that I haven't pulled out for a long while. And that's because everything had got very messy, and I'm still going through all of my, that's glorious, the Moorland and Heather, that one's called. Yeah, I'm still going through all of my materials, trying to sort through and swatch everything, and that way I'm less likely to forget what it is that I've got. Whilst I was sorting out, I also found this palette, which I think will easily fit the 20 Brushos in if I water them down and use them like watercolour paint. So this is plastic, which is why it is quite stained. It did take me a while to clean it because I'd left it very dirty. I'm pretty sure I got this from Jackson's, but I really can't remember. But it does come with this lid that goes on, and then a further lid that snaps shut on both sides. So it is quite big though. It's probably a good 12 inches by, I don't know, about 8, something like that. So you can use the inside of that lid, but you've also got this palette that comes with it, and this. So I decided, rather than have it sat there full of watercolour paints that I don't use anymore, probably they were more student grade watercolours, so I'm going to use that today to mix my Brusho in, and I'm going to keep it for my Brusho. So let's just see if I can get these sat in the middle maybe until I need to use them, and that way we might be able to get them all on screen. I don't know. We will see, maybe. Let's just see if I can pull up a bit. We seem to have quite a dark day today, and I don't have very brilliant equipment. But if I stand back out of the light, I think that's a little bit better. Let's just see if we move that round and move that up. Maybe if we go that way. There, let's move my tissues out of the shot. There. So what I'm going to do initially is I am just going to swatch them out in my painter's colour diary so that I know what it is that I've got in future, because it's terribly difficult to know what you've got in these little pots, other than you can see a little bit where I've poked holes in the top. I tried that, it didn't work very well for me, so I have this very cheap paintbrush, and I just take a little bit of the paint out and tap it if I want to use it dry onto wet paper, or to put into one of these wells. I think it came free in a kiddie magazine a long while ago. So it's just a brush that I don't use for painting, but I'm happy to use it to pick out my Brusho, basically. So let's get some water. I don't think I'll be able to keep that in shot, but and I'm going to need a brush. Let's use the smaller one, the Van Gogh size 4. Is that in shot? Let's just see. It's struggling, isn't it? Oh well, Van Gogh size 4 round. And we're going to start with yellow, which will be here somewhere. Yellow. And you can see it is just a powder. And I'm just, which one looks most yellow of these? Let's maybe pop a bit in there. You do have to be careful with this because it kind of goes everywhere. Okay, that's the yellow. Once I've done them, I'll move them back into my storage. This is where I store them, in this tub here. So let's try out the yellow. That's coming out quite orangey, isn't it, for a yellow? But that is what they are calling yellow. Then we've got lemon. You can see they all look so similar in the needle cloth. There we go. They all look so similar in the tub. So let's just take a bit of that one and pop it in there. Clean that brush off, ready for next time. Right, this is lemon. Oh yes, that is much more of a lemony colour. There we go, there's lemon. So we can pop that back for the minute. Then what do we want next? Yellow ochre. Okay. Actually, I can probably just use my brush, can't I? So let's put yellow ochre in there. And I'm just adding water to the powder basically to make it into watercolour, but when I do the painting I'll be using it in different ways. So there's our yellow ochre. Then we need orange. Oh gosh. Is that on camera? Oh yes. I mean, that really is quite bright. Okay. There is our orange. Then we need scarlet. Where is scarlet? Ah, there you are. Hiding. Oh, haven't used much of that one. So we will keep moving round in my palette. Here we have scarlet. Brilliant red. Let's just move my hand's going to be at a funny angle for this. Let's see if I can go this way. There we go. Brilliant red. You do have to be careful with the powder, and I can see that there's some on the edge, so I'm just going to blow that away. Right, then we have rose red. Can I do this at an angle? So, watercolour crystals. Rose red is rather sumptuous. There's our rose red. Right, now we need lime green. Lime green, here we go. That's not what I would call a lime green. This is why I needed to swatch them out, because it's very hard to to tell what the colours are. I mean, that doesn't look like lime green at all. I wouldn't say that that's lime green, but it might change as it dries. Then we've got leaf green. You see, that looks orangey. So it's a good job I'm swatching them out, because I would never know what they are otherwise. Right, so this is leaf green. Then we've got emerald green. So at least now I will have a palette that goes with my Brusho and only my Brusho, and that will be so organised of me. There, emerald green, olive green, took quite a bit of that out, never mind. Ooh. Okay. Olive green, I think that's more a perylene green. And then moss green, the last of the greens. Oh, now that's looking a completely different colour. And I am going to change my water in a minute, because my water is extremely dirty. Ugh, take a look at that. So I think to get some good results, we probably need to swap over to some clean water and move on to turquoise. Let's pop you in there. I mean, these are just going to last you ages and ages, because there's so much powder in there and I'm using such a tiny amount. Ultramarine, so they probably are very good value for money. Ultramarine, understandably, I seem to have used a fair bit of. It is a palette sort of staple. Okay, let's do our ultramarine. That's very much an ultramarine. Now we are moving on to some more earthy kind of colours. So we've got sandstone, terracotta. I'm trying to take the lid off, but I haven't actually ever used this by the looks of it. So I need to get that bit off first. That would help. Okay. Terracotta. Ooh. I might have to clean that up a bit more in a minute. This is looking very red. Oh, I don't know. No, actually, it's deceiving. Let's pop that on there, and I can see I've got some powder there. So let's just try and get that off, because the tiniest bit of Brusho will make a mark. Burnt sienna is next. Okay, burnt sienna. So this is just one way of using them, making them kind of into a watercolour, dark brown, but I think the more fun comes when you sprinkle them onto wet paper, which I'm going to have a go at with my pen and wash picture in a moment. So here's our dark brown. Purple. Ooh. Isn't it marvellous that I've got exactly the right number of spaces on my palette? Here's our purple. And of course you can mix these colours, you don't have to use them as is. And there's our purple. And finally black, that I've obviously never used. So the last space on my palette. Black. Okay. So at least we have them all swatched out. I have some watered down colour, and when I come to do my picture in a moment, I will probably also be sprinkling some of these and using, if I can find it, my spray bottle. But let's just share these colours with you. So yellow, lemon, yellow ochre, orange, scarlet, brilliant red, rose red. Then we've got lime green, and you can see that's got several colours in it. Leaf green, emerald green, olive green, moss green, which looks more brown to me, turquoise, ultramarine. We've got sandstone, terracotta, burnt sienna, dark brown, purple, and black. Now, of course, they're still quite wet, some of them. So I'm going to put them to one side while I do my pen and wash, and we'll come back to them because hopefully they will be drier. So let's just move that out of the way a minute and bring in. So I've done the pen part of my pen and wash. Let's move down a bit now. There we go. I've got all of my colours in here, and at least now, once they're wet, you can actually see the colours a lot better. So I think I might need some more water. So I'm going to just pause a moment while I get some more water. Okay, we now have some fresh water. So let me find the page in here, if I can. Where was that page? There we go. So yes, it's page, if you do already have this book, it's page 55. So let me just check what colours I actually need. Lemon. So let's go back here and find. So we're going to need lemon and leaf green, brilliant red. Lime green, no. There's brilliant red. There's leaf green, purple and ultramarine. Okay. Sorry about this. I should have kept these in order, shouldn't I? There's ultramarine. And there's purple at last. Okay, so they are telling us to paint the sky with a very watery ultramarine, following the cloud shapes and leaving plenty of white paper. Okay, so our ultramarine was the second blue colour, so it's that one. And I've got a bigger brush now. So we're going to paint some ultramarine in here. Oh, that's a bit dark. Let's see if we can water that down a bit. Where is my cloth? There you are. So yeah, I want to try and take some of that off because that came out a lot darker than I thought it would. So we're just kind of going around those cloud shapes. Gosh, that dries quite quickly. I'm just trying to get rid of some of the hard edges if I can. Right, leaving white space. Yes, next job. Paint the hills mostly with lemon and a little leaf green. Okay, so more. Is this going to be too dark? Let's try and really water this down a bit. So we're painting these hills. And then we need some leaf green, which, let me remind myself, was the second green that we did, so it'll be that one. I think I might need to label these up. So with a little bit of leaf green in there. Just go off the page there. Okay. Use leaf green with a touch of ultramarine for the leaves of the tree and the bushes. Okay, so ultramarine and leaf green. And we can maybe mix that here. In varying, and we're just going, what I might do is vary it slightly. That seems to have run a bit everywhere, so we'll just block that a bit and sprinkle some lemon and leaf green and a touch of brilliant red across the foreground. Okay, right, so that's basically all that they're saying that you do. So I'm going to take the leaf green and my little scooper, as I call it, and I'm going to put a bit of that into here. That's kind of blobbed a bit, hasn't it? But we'll see what that does. In fact, where's my spritzer? Here we go, here's a spritzer. One of many sat at the ready. Let's just see what happens with that. Right, then it was all of these colours really. So lemon, leaf green and brilliant red. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do for this bit. I'm not liking how that came out. I am just going to water this down and here's the lemon. Let's see if the shaker bit does work. Oh, it does. I have a bit of lemon at the top there, and then a bit of leaf green dotted about, and brilliant red. and I want that more in this foreground area. And then, ooh, let's hold it up quite high and spritz. Wow. Can we salvage? Can we not salvage? We will see. Let's just we've got quite a lot of water on there now. I wonder what would happen if we blot a bit. I will dry it off and then go over maybe some of the bits that I want to go over. To be fair, it kind of blots quite well. Okay, I'm going to dry that and then see what I've got. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. Okay, I have now dried that off. I think I liked using it as in a watercolour, but as soon as I tried to do the sprinkle technique, I think that has not worked out so well. So I am going to try and add some more of this leaf green down the bottom. And I'm going to grab a bit of this other green, which was, what was it? Lime green. I'm going to grab a bit of this lime green to see if I can tidy these trees up a little bit. And I'm not liking that bit there. So I'm just wondering what I can do there, and I might just let's see how we might do this. Let's see if we've got some trees in the background here that maybe might make that a little bit better. And let's just define that a bit more. Okay. And then maybe we can have something going on there, so that green is not... Where's my smaller brush? Can we do anything with that, or is that... No, not really. This is way, way too dark. This is rather nice. But it just goes to show that I used far, far too much there. So I am going to rectify that with... What am I going to rectify that with? And actually, I want to put a bit of another colour in there. We need to do something there, don't we? That's really not looking that great. Why don't we try grabbing a coloured pencil? What is this? Chromium oxide green. However, that is quite wet. No, that's not going to work at all. White. Where is my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White? Because I really feel like I need to be doing something with this here. So perhaps we could bring in something in this foreground a bit more. Even further into the foreground. That will kind of dull it down a bit. Well, there you go. Now, I'm not saying that I like this painting, but I think that perhaps that has helped to save it slightly. And that tree I don't like at all. What happens if you mix a bit of white gouache with, oh, well, Dr. P.H. Martin's, with the, what was this, lime green? Can we get something a bit better going on? Well, this is a good example of what not to do. But it just goes to show that, you know, unless you play, you're not going to get a brilliant painting straight away. You are going to have to learn how to use your materials, much like me. But yes, there we go. I think the sky came out very nicely. I don't mind the mountains. I quite like this effect here. The red was far too much, so I ended up having to put that white with it. There we go. Anyway, that's some Brusho. I think what I will also do, so that we can see the effects a little better, because one of the other techniques that they say to use is to spray first and then shake your colour on. So I don't know, let's have a go with the colours that we were using before. I'm spraying from up much higher this time. Wow. I think that does give a very different kind of texture to it. I'm now tempted to find, here's the brown, or maybe the black. Let's have a go with the black. And I guess if you just use so I guess we could kind of call them mountains. I don't know what we've got going on here, but you can see you do get a very different effect using them in a different way. So perhaps this is a forest. And then maybe let's find the turquoise. I have no idea what I'm doing because I can't see what's going on. Oh, there we go. And if we take a bit more of that and put it up there. Ooh. Perhaps we could just bring that down like that. Well, I'm really not sure what that is, but and I'm not sure if you can see. You might not be able to see. Look where that's all kind of made a splat everywhere. But yes, this is playing a bit further. So I think I actually prefer them like that. In any case, this is our Brusho. This is the Art of Brusho by Carrie Mackenzie. And that's the little leaflet you get in whatever set that you buy. And it does give you the colours there. So, I'm glad I had another little play as a reminder, but I think if I want to get something in the background, and even, what happens if we splat on top? Obviously I'm just using water. Yes. Then we get a nice effect. So I obviously need to play an awful lot more. And I obviously need to clean my desk up now. So, yes, I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of a play. Forgive me for the painting that didn't really turn out. But, yeah, this is, I suppose it's what I would call reality rather than trying, having tried things out several times and then putting a video up and making it look as if we've done it perfectly the first time round. That's not really what I want my channel to be about. I just want to be very natural and show mistakes, show me playing with things, So yes, enjoy, and I will see you next time.